Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to Clangen with Spire Clan. So last time we had assigned a new leader, and that is Stormstar, who is trying to set a good example for the younger cats, as they are a small clan, and he needs to do that, so if anything was to happen to him, the clan could continue. We have Onyxite, who is now the deputy. She's feeling a bit underappreciated right now, but I'm sure it is hard to feel appreciated in such a hard climate. Now, Crouchclaw had called a meeting at the very end of the last episode explaining that he believes they need to investigate beyond the mountainside, that there is something important they need to see and understand. They need to know if that is the sun that's just not moving, or what that light is. He's noticed that in some ways the earth is showing signs of warming up, even if it is 1 or 2 degrees at a time. All the cats can sense that something is different, but they don't know what, and Crouchclaw believes that it has something to do with the light beyond the mountainside. Hearing this, Stormstar and Onyxite will listen, knowing that Crouchclaw has never really led them in a wrong direction. He may have suffered much, but he is making a very good point. And so now they will shift their attention to the light beyond the spires. Most of the cats will now be sent in groups of 2 on border patrols. We're going to treat these border patrols as investigating the light. Since their focus has shifted, they're going to have to be very careful to hunt on those patrols. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue patrols kind of as normal, just set as border patrols, and I will roll 2 rolls. 1, to see if they find any food while they're out, and 2, to see if they can understand what the light is, if they get far enough to see it, and what that could mean for their future. The first to be sent out are Tall, Lilac, and Roomba Ear. They are both the newest to the clan, but they have bonded over the fact that they have been outside of the clan for so long. And so they're going together to talk about their days outside of this clan and have a moment, but also keep this mission set high on their importance list. Let's see what happens. During their patrol, they find a small dog. They harass this small dog until it leaves, but they notice that the small dog runs towards the light, and they end up following this dog for a little bit. So now I'm going to roll to see how far they get. In order for them to gather any information on this light, they need to roll above a 75%. I rolled 39% for them following the dog, and then I rolled a 41% to see if they catch any food. So what's happened is, as they were following the dog, they did see a mouse scurry across the snow. And the cats panic, thinking, we need to catch that food, we need to feed the clan. They both race off to the mouse without thinking, and the mouse scurries underneath the snow where they can't get to it. They're irritated with themselves and a little bit at each other, but ultimately it was their lack of communication that got them into this situation. So now the clan does not have food, nor do they have any information on the light on the horizon. And now we have Cindershine and Downy Bush. They're traveling and they notice that the clouds have started to seep in, appearing as more snowfall may come. But despite that, they are encouraged by the hope of this light and they keep going. Fortunately, the clouds never break and no snow actually falls to the ground. They just linger ominously above the cats. So they will keep going to try and explore what this light might be. The cats, feeling the chill that the clouds have brought with them, decide that they need to turn back, otherwise they will freeze to death, which will do the clan no good. And while they are traveling, they come across no prey and are unable to hunt for the clan, and the clan still has no food. Crouchclaw and Pricklehail are very excited to go and explore what the light is. But while they're out, they discover another group of cats that are looking and hunting for food. They don't really stop to talk to them or do anything with these other cats. In fact, the two groups of cats just decide to leave each other be. And there is a bit of a mutual respect between the two of them, appreciating that the cats don't attack each other, as they all know they're just trying to survive. After this exchange, the cats try and continue, but the same clouds that caused the other cats to return have lingered enough to keep the chill in the air, causing Crouchclaw and Pricklehail to do the same and turn back. Both are extremely disappointed, but they know that their death from freezing would only cause harm to the clan and not good. It's better to live another day in hopes of exploring the light rather than dying and never actually knowing what's going on. Stormstar decides to go out on his own. He doesn't really have a partner because they have an odd number of cats, so he's being brave, but it's not very smart. The dark clouds are still lingering, and Stormstar is feeling the chill and wondering if they should continue. Fortunately, it still doesn't snow, but the chill also drives them home. Y'all, I need to replace these dice. I literally rolled an 11 and then a 15. I think I'm going to trade out my dice real quick. We're back at the clan, and out of all of the patrols, not one was able to catch food. I'm now going to roll to see if the cats survive. How I'm going to do this is they have a 50-50 chance, which is pretty generous considering there's no food. If I roll above a 50, no cat will perish, and we will go on to the next moon. If I roll below a 50, then I will roll to see which cat dies of starvation. It looks like switching the dice didn't help. I rolled a 27. That is not above a 50. And so now what I will do is I will roll a d12. If I roll a 12, I will just roll again, and we will see which cat dies from starvation. I rolled a 10, and that is Tall Lilac, who just recently joined the clan. She is so grateful for the clan that she is afraid to take any food or eat any morsels. And she does still feel a bit weak from having her injuries on the Thunder Path. Because of her lack of food and her metabolism shutting down, there is nothing to keep her warm. And as the cold from the clouds seeps into the cave, Tall Lilac cannot keep her warmth, and she freezes. And when the cats wake up in the morning, they notice that she is gone. It is the next moon, and patrols must continue, but now food is becoming more and more important. And Crouchclaw, Stormstar, and Onyx Sight are desperate for food, but they don't want to give up of their dream of finding out what the light is beyond the spires. And I want them to find it. Dice. They will continue for now to go out in pairs, but if they grow any smaller, they're going to have to do single patrols. Stormstar doesn't like this idea, knowing that a single cat is at more danger of predators and other clans than a cat in a pair. So for now, the pairs will continue. Downybush and Roomba Ear are out on the patrol. They're heading towards the light, and they come across a large dog who is feasting on what looks like a rabbit. The large dog has just started, but it's ravenous. It looks to see the two cats and decides that's a bigger meal. Roomba Ear and Downybush quickly exchange looks. Downybush, having more experience, says, "I will brave the dog, run in between his legs, and grab the rabbit that he's trying to eat. You distract him." And they do just that. Downybush excels at this, running right in between the dog's legs, almost confusing the dog, getting to the rabbit and snagging it in their muzzle. Unfortunately, Roomba Ear is not fast enough, and the dog, being desperate, now seeing that his meal is being stolen, grabs Roomba Ear. Fortunately, Downybush is able to help Roomba Ear, distracting the dog away, confusing it, and the two are able to escape. But they still have the rabbit, and that means that they have food for this moon. Cindershine and Mossy Light head out. They're ready to take on the world, their young hearts excited with their mission. But as they are going past the lines of their borders to go and explore the light, feeling hope, they're ambushed by cats waiting for them over the mounds of snow. There are many, many cats. They're hungry and they don't care what they eat. They've become desperate enough to eat their own kind, and they attack, killing both Cindershine and Mossy Light. The next day, when the two have still not returned, a patrol is sent out to find them, and all they can find are frosted bones and pelts, the pelts of Cindershine and Mossy Light. It is Pricklehail and Crouchclaw who discover them, and that same ambush of cats tries to do the same to Pricklehail and Crouchclaw, but they are smarter. They have a little more experience, and there aren't as many cats here now as there were when Cindershine and Mossy Light were out. Fortunately, with their knowledge of the rocky terrain and the snows, they're able to outsmart this patrol enough that it sends them running. And Pricklehail and Crouchclaw are safe, and so they try and continue towards the light, heartbroken, but they will not let their clanmates die in vain. But the two cats are exhausted after that fight, and they feel like the light isn't getting any closer. They're afraid that if they keep going, they won't have enough energy to turn back, and they decide to. Now, on their way back, they are fortunate enough to discover a small rabbit frozen in the snows. It's hard to carry because it's so stiff and cold, but Crouchclaw does manage to carry it back, and the clan has another rabbit to feast on. Stormstar is once again left to patrol alone. He decides as leader this is his responsibility to make sure that his clan has a partner, and he, with his bravery and courage, was able to go forth. The dark clouds from the other day still linger, and Stormstar is hopeful but naive that it will not snow. But then the downpour starts. A blizzard sweeps over the blanket of snow that is the land. The wind is so harsh that it's pushing him, and he can't hold against it and is stuck right where he is. He fears freezing to death, but he has other things to worry about. As the snow piles up on the spires so much that it can't handle it any longer and lets go, an avalanche crashing into the bottom of the mountain where Stormstar lays, burying him for good. Burying him. No one ever sees him again. It's the next moon, and Onyx Star has become the new leader of the clan. They vow that they will protect the clan even at the cost of their 9 lives. Rumors reach the clan that Elhart has died, unable to survive against the harshness of the climate, and Crouchclaw wanders past Stormstar's vigil. They won't mourn Stormstar's passing. Their heart is still too broken from Jetstar. But now Onyx Sight is left with the duty of choosing a new deputy. She calls upon the clan and looks over her cats. Crouchclaw is still too burdened with the death of Jetstar and his children, and now Stormstar. And he says to Onyx Star, "I cannot, and I will not." The rest of the clan sees this, and Pricklehail, even as insecure as he is, decides that he has to take the role. He's afraid, and he doesn't feel like he can do this role justice, but he knows that he's really the only one that has the experience to do it, and so he takes it anyway. The clan is shaken. In one moon, they've lost their leader and 2 vital members of this clan. They just don't see survival being possible. And they're wondering if they should pursue the light or not, now that it has taken so many lives. But Crouch Claw is stern and says, if you will not, I will alone. But the cats are still hopeful. They don't want the other cats to die in vain. They want to discover what this is in hopes that it is some sort of warmth in this globe of ice that they live in. And so they will continue. Downy Bush goes on patrol alone because there are so few cats that can patrol. They notice that the gray clouds are still lingering. They just will not leave the cats alone. Fortunately, no snow ever starts. The blizzard is gone from when Storm Star was taken, and so Downy Bush continues towards the light. But they can never seem to get any closer. And the chill is relentless, and they return with nothing. Crouch Claw does the same, determined, deliriously determined even, to an unsafe point. They too notice the dark clouds, and they keep going. Fortunately, the snows never come, but Crouch Claw never makes it to the light. The cold is too much. And even he is thinking that perhaps this mission that he started will not end well for the cats. And he also returns with no food, as there is none to be found. Pricklehail finds a dog over a small rabbit, same as Downy Bush did with Roomba Ear. And he's thinking that he might be able to do this even though he's a bit terrified. He approaches the dog unnoticed and slashes at its back leg. The dog is startled and runs just enough for Pricklehail to snag the rabbit and run back to camp, yowling in fear and in warning to the other cats of the clan, but they do have food. It's the next moon and next set of patrols, and Downy Bush goes out alone once again, but is ambushed by a bunch of cats. Fortunately, they're able to escape the cats, but they weren't able to get close to the light. And due to them being exhausted, they also weren't able to get any food. Crouch Claw catches a small dog hunting a mouse. Now, unfortunately, the dog is not very smart and chases the mouse right into Crouch Claw's mouth. Crouch Claw now has this mouse, but the small dog kind of wants it. But fortunately, with Crouch Claw being such a good fighter, a couple of bats of his paws and claws, the dog runs away. But now, there's a mouse to feed the clan. Pricklehail also drives away a small dog, but after all of that, he's exhausted and doesn't have the energy to continue towards the light or to find prey and returns home. And the exact same thing happens to Onyx Star, but all of the cats are wondering, where on earth are all these dogs coming from? So close to the light. And Roomba Ear is out on their own, knowing that they shouldn't be, but they're desperate to prove to their clan that they can be helpful. They find a small dog who runs, and they end up following it towards the light. They're tired, they're cold. Their pelt is covered in frost and snow, following this little dog who's yipping all the way across the long blanket of snow that covers the lands. Until Roomba Ear sees something very strange in the distance. It looks like glass. They keep going. Not really caring about the dog anymore, but trying to see what on earth this is. As they get closer, they can make out that it's a big dome, like a hill, but made of glass. And inside, they see two legs moving around. And light, lots and lots of light. when they keep going forward, they can feel a very small hint of warmth tickle beneath their fur, grooming their skin with a sense of comfort and familiarity. Roomba Ear has discovered where the two legs have been saying, "This isn't the sun, but if the two legs can survive in this dome, what does that mean for the cats? Are the two legs still eating cats? Are the two legs becoming more of a danger? And what should they do about it?" A two-leg who is actually outside notices Roomba Ear, and Roomba Ear, terrified, bolts back to the clan, not even thinking about food, just running as fast as they can to tell the clan what they've seen. While that is happening, Downy Bush is also on a patrol, coming at a different angle, a little bit separated from Roomba Ear. But they get caught by another clan, the same clan that killed Mossy Light and Cindershine. Downy Bush, being outnumbered and by themselves, is easily overwhelmed, and they don't make it. The clan will discover them the next day. Crouch Claw is also out, going a little bit behind Roomba Ear in hopes of catching up with them. But instead, they catch up with a very, very large and hungry dog. They successfully get past the dog towards the light. And Crouch Claw, having dreamed of this moment, bolts towards this glass dome that he doesn't really recognize or understand even. He keeps going, running, until he reaches the very edge of the glass dome and places his paws upon it. He feels the warmth against the glass. He even sees that the ground has no snow, about a couple feet off of the glass wall. It's emanating that much heat that it's melting the snow. It feels warm, and he purrs, pushing his body up against the glass and seeing the two legs inside. He gets an even closer look. He sees chickens walking about. He sees two legs petting their dogs who are running and playing. He sees young two-leg kits running around, also playing with the dogs. One of them points at Crouch Claw, and for a moment he feels fear. He's worried that the two legs will come and get him and eat him like they had been eating some of the other cats. But the little kid comes up to the glass and puts a hand right before Crouch Claw. And Crouch Claw feels this strange longing to feel the warmth of those hands. And he can tell, based on how this kid is dressed, that it must be warm in there. And he puts his paw right against the hand. Crouch Claw has truly discovered what's going on, but he's afraid to leave now that he sees it. Crouch Claw is so close to a life beyond this freezing hell that he's found himself in. This darkness, this hopelessness, the cold that is never ending. But a clan waits for his news, and he's left with a huge decision. Does he go back and tell the clan in hopes that maybe they can find a place among the two legs? Is that even possible? Or would he be telling his clan to come and they would just be eaten a few days later? And so this is where I will ask you what we should do. Should Crouch Claw go back and tell the clan, and should the clan come to this dome where the two legs are staying? Or should they keep trying to survive in a lifeless, cold, harsh environment where their days are numbered either way? What should they do? Are they better off on their own as a clan? Or would it be better for them to be in this huge glass dome, a city full of two legs, where they could eat, where they could stay warm, or where they could be eaten? What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, tickle and poke that like button. Subscribe to join our family if you haven't already, and jingle the bell to get notified of when I post clangen or wolf quest or any other videos on the channel. Also, feel free to join Discord or follow me on Twitch. The links to both of those are in the description below. I love you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week, where we will discover what y'all decided to do with Spire Clan. Bye!